Have you ever wondered why certain days seem to flow like magic? Your mind feels crystal clear, your emotions are steady, and ideas seem to bubble up effortlessly. Then there are those other days where, no matter how hard you try, everything feels stuck, heavy, like you're wading through invisible molasses. Here's what most people don't realize: this isn't just random. There's actual science behind it, particularly when we look at quantum physics and what happens inside your nervous system. Once you understand how this works, everything changes about how you relate to your own energy. When we talk about high vibration, we're not talking about some fleeting good mood or something you can force yourself into by sheer willpower. It's actually a specific, measurable, harmonious state of your biofield that happens when your mind, body, and emotions are working together as one unified system. And here's the beautiful part: this isn't reserved for monks meditating in caves or enlightened masters on mountaintops. You can access this state right now, right where you are, once you learn how to sense it and nurture it within yourself. Think about how most people move through their days. They're constantly bouncing between reacting to things and resisting other things. They wake up already carrying yesterday's stress, replaying the same thoughts that trigger the same emotions, which then activate the same stress chemicals in their bodies. From a quantum science perspective, this isn't just a bad habit, it's actually a frequency loop. Your energy field is constantly broadcasting, kind of like a radio station sending out signals. And these signals are continuously interacting with the quantum field around you, influencing what you notice, how you feel, and ultimately what version of reality you experience. This journey we're about to take together isn't about pretending to feel great when you don't, or slapping a smile on your face when you're hurting inside. It's about creating something called coherence, which means bringing your thoughts, your heart rhythms, and your nervous system into a unified state. Picture yourself fine-tuning an instrument so it produces a clean, clear, steady tone. When you achieve this internal clarity, something remarkable happens. The quantum field starts responding with what we call synchronicities, those moments that feel like way more than coincidence. You become a focused observer instead of someone scattered by conflicting beliefs or mixed desires. Right now, just pause for a second. Notice your own energy. Don't try to change anything yet. Just feel it. Is there a lightness somewhere in your body, or maybe a subtle tightness in your chest? Are certain thoughts running on repeat in the background? This simple act of noticing is already beginning the shift. It gently interrupts those habitual loops that keep your vibration tied to the same old patterns, the same old timelines. And in doing so, it opens a door to something new, a stable, coherent signal that the quantum field can actually tune into and reflect back to you. Here's something you might not have considered before. Your vibration doesn't just disappear all at once. It fades gradually, bit by bit, through tiny decisions you make throughout the day. Choosing to react instead of pausing, choosing to tighten up instead of breathing through something, choosing to replay old stories instead of simply witnessing them without judgment. But when you recognize this, you reclaim your power. Because just as your frequency can diminish in these small, unnoticed moments, it can also be awakened again in micro moments of presence. These tiny flashes of awareness, they hold the key to rebuilding a powerful energetic signature that reflects who you're truly becoming. There's fascinating research in a field called neurocardiology that reveals something most people never learn. The human heart generates an electromagnetic field that's actually significantly stronger than the one produced by your brain. When you reach emotional coherence, when your heart rhythms become smooth and synchronized with your breathing, you start emitting a highly structured, elevated frequency all around your body. This isn't poetic language or metaphor. This is something scientists can actually track and measure with instruments. And even just maintaining this state for a few minutes impacts your body's chemistry, relaxes your nervous system, and shifts how your brain perceives and processes. Why does this matter so much? Because the quantum field doesn't just respond to what you think or what words you say. It responds to your entire energetic broadcast, the whole package. You could be repeating affirmations about wealth or joy all day long, but if your body is resonating with anxiety or a sense of lack, the message you're actually transmitting is conflicted, dissonant. In quantum mechanics terms, incoherent energy produces unpredictable, often chaotic results, typically the very outcomes you're working so hard to avoid. This is why so many people feel exhausted by the effort of trying to stay positive all the time. They're unknowingly fighting against their own energetic state. What you're going to discover here is how to end that internal struggle, and not by forcing happiness or silencing real emotions, but by understanding that your real power lies in continuously returning to harmony. This isn't about being perfect, it's a practice of awareness, learning to notice when you slip out of balance, and then gently, kindly guiding yourself back in. Over time, this becomes second nature, a stable, elevated energetic state that doesn't depend on everything in your environment being perfect. If you've ever been around someone who just naturally radiates confidence, grace, and magnetism, chances are they've mastered this coherence. They don't just think with intention, they embody a different vibrational reality. And because the quantum field responds to your full presence, your awareness, your emotions, your focus, your frequency becomes the most powerful thing you can consciously shift. In the parts coming up, we'll explore how to condition your nervous system to support these higher states of resonance, how just a few mindful minutes each morning can set the energetic tone for your entire day, and how to recognize the subtle signs that tell you you're stepping into energetic coherence. Stay with me here. By the time we finish this exploration together, you won't just understand these ideas in your head. You'll actually begin to feel what it means to be the calm, consistent witness of your own frequency. And that, more than any affirmation or routine, is what truly reshapes your life to reflect your highest potential. If you're still here, still reading, it probably means a part of you already knows that vibration isn't just a mood. It's the deep, invisible language your body uses to communicate with the quantum field. This isn't theory anymore, it's physics. Let's start with the foundational principle that most people never discover in their entire lives. Every experience you could possibly have exists as a probability, a potential, until your conscious awareness locks it into reality. In quantum physics, this is called the collapse of the wave function. Until your focus engages with a specific potential, it remains part of this limitless field of possibility. Your observation, combined with the energetic charge of your emotional state, chooses one path and stabilizes it as your lived experience. This isn't some poetic metaphor about thinking positively and hoping for the best. This is a real, measurable interaction between consciousness and the quantum structure of space-time itself. Think about this for a moment. Your brain is constantly constructing, predicting, and filtering your version of reality. According to neuroscience, what you perceive isn't direct truth. It's actually a controlled illusion shaped by your memory, your habits, and what you're anticipating. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. The signals that inform this inner reality model don't only come from your mind. They also arise from your emotional center, your heart, your breathing patterns, your body posture, and the electromagnetic field surrounding you. This is exactly why simply thinking new thoughts while completely ignoring the state of your body rarely results in genuine transformation. To make this clearer, think of your vibration like a broadcasting tower. Each thought emits a frequency. Each emotion adds another layer of complexity to that frequency. And every choice you make either strengthens or distorts the coherence of your overall energetic broadcast. When all these components are in sync, working together, you emit a strong, consistent signal. In response, the quantum field organizes itself to reflect that harmony, manifesting as what we often call synchronicities. That's why you might suddenly meet exactly the right person at exactly the right time, or here's the twist that catches most people. They unintentionally disrupt this entire process. They believe they need to force themselves into a high vibe by reciting affirmations or suppressing negative feelings. But this creates an internal disconnect, a misalignment between thought and felt experience. You might be telling yourself over and over, "I am abundant," while your nervous system is still anchored in fear and survival mode. From the lens of quantum reality, this energetic contradiction sends out a noisy, fragmented signal. It scatters your focus and interferes with the wave collapsing into your desired outcome. One of the clearest ways to understand this is through the principle of coherence. Scientists who measure the electromagnetic output of the heart have discovered something remarkable. Elevated emotional states like gratitude, love, and inner peace produce smooth, rhythmic waveforms. These waves signal harmony, connection between the heart and brain. The nervous system responds in kind, shifting into a balanced state. On the other hand, stress, worry, or irritation produce erratic, spiked patterns. These point to incoherence, internal disharmony that disrupts how you think, feel, and energetically broadcast. This energetic inconsistency doesn't just impact your mood in the moment, it actually clouds the vibrational message you're sending to the field. In this session, you'll start to notice these fine shifts. You'll see that sustaining a high frequency isn't about forcing positivity or pretending everything is perfect. It's about being present with your own state, noticing when coherence breaks down, and gently guiding yourself back into alignment. Think of it like tuning a musical instrument. The first step is simply recognizing when you're off key. Only then can you begin adjusting your inner frequency. If you're wondering how to actually start applying this in your life, here's a practical suggestion. The next time you notice yourself tightening up, whether it's tension from work, conflict with someone you care about, or a wave of self-doubt washing over you, just take a pause. Bring your awareness gently to your heart space. Begin to slow your breath down. Notice the narrative your mind is running, the story it's telling. Then ask yourself this simple question. Is this the vibration I want to send out into the field? That brief moment of mindfulness gives you a powerful point of choice. And with each decision to return to coherence rather than defaulting to reactivity, you strengthen your capacity to hold a stable, elevated frequency regardless of what's happening around you. Let me be clear about something important. This is not about bypassing discomfort or pretending that life doesn't bring real challenges. A high vibration doesn't mean ignoring reality or living in denial. It means staying grounded in your core state of trust even while moving through complexity. It's knowing that while you may not control every external event, you absolutely do have power over the energetic signal you choose to send in response. If this idea feels unfamiliar, or if it's striking a deeper chord beyond just logic, something resonating in your chest or gut, I invite you to continue with me. Because by the end of this experience, you won't just have tools for temporary elevation, for feeling good for a moment. You'll understand how to build a sustainable energy pattern that naturally becomes your baseline, your new normal. And if you're already sensing a small internal shift, a quiet inner nudge, a feeling like you're starting to remember something important that you somehow always knew, that quiet awareness is a clear sign your system is beginning to align and your field is becoming more harmonious. One of the most overlooked factors in maintaining high vibration throughout your day is how you begin your morning, those precious first minutes after you wake up. During this transition, your brain is shifting from theta to beta wave states. Your subconscious remains highly open during this window, and your body hasn't yet activated all the usual automatic stress pathways. This short period is actually your greatest opportunity to establish an energetic foundation for the entire day ahead. Yet so many people jump straight into reactivity the moment they open their eyes, checking emails before their feet hit the floor, scrolling through news feeds, replaying yesterday's concerns or tomorrow's worries. Without realizing it, they're cueing their nervous system to return to the same familiar patterns that scatter energy and limit clarity. By intentionally creating coherence before stepping into the demands of the world, you begin to stabilize your biofield, broadcasting a clear, elevated signal from the very start. This isn't just a feel-good morning habit or some wellness trend. This represents a measurable transformation in the electromagnetic rhythms of both your heart and your brain. I'm going to walk you through one foundational practice you can begin using tomorrow morning. It's simple, but the effects multiply with consistency. This method is called Heart Coherence Breathing, and it's been researched extensively by institutions like the HeartMath Institute. The concept is straightforward and elegant. By slowing your breath and directing your focus toward your heart center, you bring your autonomic nervous system into harmony. And this balance forms the biological foundation for sustained high vibration. Here's how to begin this practice. As soon as you wake up, before you reach for your phone or jump out of bed, gently place one hand over the center of your chest. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes or keep them softly open. Start by simply observing your natural breath. No need to change anything right away. Just notice the inhale and the exhale as they move through your body, feeling the rise and fall. Then gradually guide your breathing into a slower, more even pace, something around 5 seconds to inhale, 5 seconds to exhale. As your breath settles into this rhythm, begin to visualize breathing in and out through your heart space. With every inhale, imagine drawing in calm, restorative energy. With every exhale, release any tension, stress, or inner noise you're carrying. Once this rhythm is established and feels natural, gently evoke a positive, renewing emotion. This could be appreciation for someone in your life who matters to you, a memory of a moment where you felt completely at ease, or simply a sense of gratitude for being alive and present in this moment. Allow that feeling to expand in your chest and radiate outward like ripples in a pond. Practicing this for just 3 to 5 minutes begins to synchronize your breath with your heart rhythm, creating what's known as cardiac coherence. This is a scientifically observed, harmonized pattern that stabilizes your entire system. Your brain enters a more structured wave state. Your hormonal regulation improves. Your electromagnetic field becomes clearer and more unified. What does this mean in practical, real-world terms? You're creating an inner climate where high-frequency states like clarity, emotional strength, and creative flow become more accessible throughout your entire day. It's essential to understand why this matters from a quantum standpoint. Your heart's coherent field isn't confined within the boundaries of your physical body. Scientific studies have revealed that it extends outward several feet, actively interacting with the energetic environments and people around you. This explains something you've probably experienced but couldn't quite explain. Why you might notice different reactions from others when you enter a space feeling grounded and centered versus when you walk in stressed and scattered. It's not about having good vibes or being naturally charismatic. It's about energetic coherence, creating a tangible, measurable field effect. This simple morning practice also transforms how you meet challenges throughout your day. Starting your day anchored in heart coherence makes you significantly less likely to fall into habitual survival modes. Instead of immediately reacting with stress or agitation when something unexpected happens, you become more capable of observing situations calmly and responding with clear intention. From a quantum lens, this is how you hold a clear broadcast tone that helps turn potential outcomes into aligned realities. And remember, this practice isn't about forcing positive emotion or faking it until you make it. It's about creating a physiological state where elevated feelings can emerge naturally, organically. You're not manipulating your mindset or lying to yourself. You're setting the internal conditions for harmony to arise on its own. This becomes the energetic foundation for high-frequency living. If you're wondering how long it takes to actually feel the benefits, the answer is reassured to the quantum. In the next part of this exploration, we'll look at how to hold that elevated frequency while navigating the inevitable ups and downs of daily life. Because it's one thing to feel aligned during a quiet, peaceful morning routine, and quite another to stay grounded when the day gets chaotic, when demands pile up, when people pull at your energy. But you'll discover that with a few small, strategic adjustments, your inner coherence can become the most stable force in any environment you encounter. Stay with me here. The field is always listening, always attuned to your signal. And the frequency you choose to transmit today is already influencing the probabilities that are shaping your future right now, in this very moment. While it's incredibly powerful to begin your morning in an aligned state, many people notice their coherence starts to fade as the day unfolds and real life kicks in. A flood of emails demanding immediate attention, unexpected problems popping up out of nowhere, or simply the energetic pull of other people's stress, anxiety, or urgency. Without a way to manage these inevitable shifts, you'll likely fall back into those familiar habits and reactive loops that have been reinforced over years, maybe decades. That's why maintaining your vibration isn't about somehow shielding yourself from all stress or living in a protective bubble. It's about developing the practical ability to return to alignment quickly and consistently, regardless of the circumstances swirling around you. You might be surprised to learn that some of the biggest shifts in your energy don't actually come from major breakthroughs or dramatic insights. They come from what you do in those tiny, in between moments that most people completely overlook. Neuroscience refers to these as state shifts, the subtle changes happening in your body, your breathing, and your mental focus as you move between different situations throughout your day. The key is learning to recognize when you've drifted from coherence and having simple, accessible tools to recalibrate yourself quickly without needing to retreat to a quiet room or spend an hour meditating. Imagine this scenario. You're working on something important, something that matters to you, and suddenly you receive unexpected criticism or pushback. Immediately, almost instantaneously, your heart rhythm becomes disordered and chaotic. Your breath might tighten or even stop for a moment. Your thoughts shift into defense mode, preparing to protect yourself. From a quantum perspective, your broadcast instantly becomes erratic, a signal now laced with fear, resistance, and tension. This isn't something you can override just by thinking positive thoughts or telling yourself to calm down, but you can disrupt the loop through mindful, embodied awareness. One of the most effective methods I've found is something I call the micro reset. It requires no private space, no fancy equipment, no special circumstances, and no one else even needs to know you're doing it. Here's exactly how to use it. The moment you sense tension rising in your body or mind, stop for just a second. Relax your shoulders consciously. Feel whatever support is beneath you, whether it's the chair you're sitting in, the floor under your feet, or the earth itself beneath that. Take one slow, conscious breath. Let your exhale last slightly longer than your inhale, which signals safety to your nervous system. Then bring your awareness back to your heart space, that center point in your chest, and recall just briefly, just for a flash, the feeling you cultivated during your morning ritual. That sense of gratitude, peace, or openness. This simple gesture works on multiple levels simultaneously. It interrupts the automatic stress response before it fully activates. It slows down cortisol production in your body, and it restores the coherent rhythm in your heart that signals safety and balance to your brain. And notice something important here. This isn't about forcing yourself to be positive or pretending the stressful thing didn't happen. You're not forcing anything at all. You're simply stepping outside the automatic reactive loop long enough to reconnect with who you are when you're not in survival mode. Over time, and it doesn't take as long as you might think, these micro resets help form a new default setting in your nervous system. Your system becomes conditioned to return to coherence more easily, with less effort and less resistance. There's another essential aspect of sustaining a high frequency state that we need to talk about, and that's how you manage your focus, your attention. Most people allow their attention to be pulled in countless directions throughout the day, notifications buzzing constantly, distractions everywhere, mental reruns of past events or rehearsals of future conversations. Every single time you let your focus fragment and scatter, you lose energetic coherence. This is why you might feel completely drained by the end of the day, even if nothing particularly stressful actually occurred. You've unintentionally scattered your energy field through divided, fragmented attention. To reverse this pattern, try cultivating presence in single task moments throughout your day. When you're working on something, be fully engaged in that task, not half there while your mind is somewhere else. When you're eating, just eat, actually tasting and experiencing your food. When you're in a conversation with someone, offer your complete attention instead of thinking about what you'll say next or checking your phone. This simple focus practice not only preserves your energy, but also strengthens your brain's ability to hold the coherent patterns associated with elevated vibration. From a quantum point of view, this focused attention enhances the purity and clarity of your energetic broadcast, making it significantly easier to magnetize outcomes that are aligned with your chosen frequency. You might also find it helpful to establish small anchor rituals scattered throughout your day, brief moments that bring you back into awareness without requiring major time or effort. For instance, each time you wash your hands, which you probably do multiple times a day, take one intentional breath and mentally affirm to yourself, I am energy. When you're moving between different spaces, pause for just a second at the threshold, the doorway, and reconnect with a sense of gratitude, choosing once again the frequency you wish to embody. Though these actions might seem simple or even too simple, over time they actually reshape your nervous system's habitual responses, making coherence feel like your natural state rather than something you constantly need to force or maintain through effort. And here's something crucial to remember. This is not about maintaining a constant state of calm perfection where nothing ever bothers you. That's not realistic, and it's not the goal. It's about recognizing when you've drifted from alignment, which will happen regularly because you're human, and then choosing to return. That's the real difference between people who maintain a high vibration and those who feel constantly tossed around by external events like a leaf in the wind. High vibe individuals don't somehow avoid obstacles or live charmed lives where nothing goes wrong. They develop the skill of recalibration, the ability to come back to center again and again. Before we continue into the next part of this journey, I want to invite you to engage in this process right now in a tangible way. Ground your intention in action by writing a simple phrase in the comments below. Write these 3 words: I am energy. This is more than just a string of words or a social media comment. It's a signal to your own field, a conscious declaration that you're becoming an active observer and creator of your reality instead of a passive recipient. When you type those words, pause for just a moment to actually feel them resonate somewhere in your body. Let it be a subtle, meaningful act of coherence that the quantum field will mirror back to you in ways that may genuinely surprise you. Stick with me because in the next part, we're going to dive into how to protect your energy from outside interference, how to cultivate a personal field that not only preserves your vibration but actually amplifies it, no matter where you are or who you're surrounded by. By now, you've likely realized something fundamental. High vibration isn't a fixed state to be achieved once and then checked off your list. It's a dynamic, living practice that evolves with you. There's another dimension we need to explore together if you truly want to carry this elevated frequency throughout your day, and that's energetic protection. Now, I'm not talking about protection in that defensive sense of shielding yourself from some external threat or building walls around yourself. I'm talking about the intentional creation of a stable, coherent, energetic field around you, one that naturally filters out anything that's out of sync with your chosen state. Every living organism emits an electromagnetic signature, and the human heart is responsible for the most powerful one in your body. This field extends well beyond your physical body, reaching out several feet, and it actively interacts with the greater energy field of your surroundings. When your heart field is in coherence, when your breath, emotional state, and nervous system are harmonized and working together, it acts like an energetic boundary that others can actually sense, even if they can't articulate what they're sensing. Environments respond to it, and without needing to protect yourself from a place of fear, you automatically deflect or repel energy that isn't in alignment with your vibration. So how do you consciously generate this field of energetic protection? One of the most powerful methods is a blend of visualization and somatic presence, engaging both your mind and your body. Let's try it together right now, in this moment. Either close your eyes or just soften your gaze, letting your vision blur slightly. Bring your focus back to your heart center, that space in the middle of your chest. Begin breathing deeply and steadily, the way we've practiced before, slow and even. Now, with each inhale, picture yourself pulling golden light into your chest, a soft, glowing, warm energy that nourishes and strengthens you from the inside out. With each exhale, feel this light expanding outward, flowing beyond the boundaries of your physical body, forming a luminous, gentle field that surrounds your entire being. Visualize this golden energy as a living shield, but not a rigid wall that blocks everything out. Instead, see it as a responsive, intelligent field that welcomes and amplifies what uplifts you while quietly repelling or neutralizing what doesn't serve your coherence. As you hold this image in your mind's eye, notice what physical sensations begin to emerge in your body. Perhaps there's a warmth spreading in your chest, or a subtle tingling in your arms or fingertips, or maybe a sense of expansion. These are real somatic responses, not imaginary. Your body is reacting because your biofield and nervous system are highly responsive to focused attention and clear intention. And from the quantum view, the consistent focus of your awareness actually starts collapsing probability into tangible, measurable reality. Your protective field isn't just imagined or visualized. it becomes a functional influence that affects both how you feel internally and how others respond to your presence externally. This practice does more than just offer a comforting feeling of inner safety. It genuinely shifts how you engage with the world around you. Stressful encounters will have less power over your internal state. The emotional charge of people around you becomes easier to witness and observe without internalizing or absorbing it into your own system. You begin to act as an anchor of stability, an energetic constant in any space you occupy. There's also solid scientific evidence to support this experience. Studies on heart rate variability and electromagnetic field synchronization have shown that individuals in coherent, heart-aligned states can actually impact others around them, influencing their nervous systems and emotional states. Sometimes this happens even from a distance, without direct physical contact. Your energetic field becomes like a tuning fork, subtly encouraging coherence in those around you through pure resonance. This is why deeply grounded individuals can shift the emotional climate of an entire room without even speaking a word. Their presence alone communicates something fundamental. And here's what matters most in all of this. This protection isn't about resisting life or retreating from challenges or difficult people. It comes from emitting such a clear, steady signal that anything dissonant simply moves around you, unable to take root or take hold in your field. You're not guarding yourself from life or hiding from it. You're embodying your frequency so powerfully and consistently that it speaks for itself. You're radiating energy in such a steady, coherent way that discordant frequencies simply lose relevance to your internal state. They can't find purchase, can't grab onto anything, because there's nothing in your field that matches or resonates with that discord. I invite you to bring this visualization practice into your everyday, and the cumulative impact over time, over weeks and months, is genuinely powerful and noticeable. You'll begin to observe that things which used to completely deplete you now pass through without leaving any trace or residue. Triggers that once pulled you off center, that used to hijack your entire day, are now met by your grounded presence and just dissolve or bounce off harmlessly. In the next phase of this journey, we're going to integrate everything you've practiced so far. You'll be guided through a short but powerful exercise designed to help you embody and stabilize your elevated frequency in a way that becomes second nature. And you'll receive an invitation to continue deepening this practice within a supportive, conscious community of others walking the same path. Let's keep going together. Your coherence isn't just a personal transformation happening in isolation. It's a ripple that positively impacts the entire space around you, touching everyone you encounter, whether they realize it or not. Now that you've explored how to raise your frequency and how to protect it, the next essential step is integration. This means grounding everything into something physical and repeatable, an embodied practice you can come back to whenever you sense yourself falling into those old habits of reactivity, anxiety, or self-doubt. Because high vibration, as we've discovered, isn't a goal you hit once and then walk away from, checking it off your spiritual to-do list. It's something you nurture continuously in each breath, in each present moment. To help lock this in and make it real for you, I'm going to walk you through a simple guided practice right now. If possible, find a comfortable place where you won't be interrupted for the next few minutes. If you're multitasking or can't fully focus right this second, that's completely okay. Just let these words wash over you and feel whatever arises naturally without forcing anything. Gently close your eyes, or if you prefer to keep them open, just soften your gaze. Place one hand over the center of your chest, making physical contact with your heart space. Take a slow breath in through your nose, feeling your abdomen gently expand like a balloon filling with air. Exhale through your mouth, consciously releasing tension from your shoulders, your jaw, your forehead, anywhere you're holding tightness. Continue breathing slowly and evenly, letting your awareness drop down out of your head and into your body. Feel yourself inhabiting your physical form. Now, visualize that golden field you practiced earlier, that radiant, shimmering light surrounding your entire body like a protective cocoon. With each inhale, imagine this light growing larger, more vibrant, more structured and defined. With every exhale, feel it anchoring deeper, becoming a living, stabilizing presence that moves with you throughout your day, wherever you go. As you hold this image clearly in your mind, silently affirm to yourself these words: I am the observer, I am the field, I am the frequency. Feel those words not just as thoughts passing through your mind, but as a vibration, a hum, resonating within your body at a cellular level. You're not separate from the quantum field, standing outside of it looking in. You're an active expression of it, a conscious agent actively shaping probability into tangible reality. The state you choose right now in this very moment isn't limited to how you feel inside your own body. It's the signal you're broadcasting outward, guiding and influencing what materializes next in your experience. Stay here for a few more steady breaths. Just be here. Feel your own presence without judgment. Maybe it feels grounded, warm, calm, or expansive. Maybe it feels different than that. There's no right way to experience this. Simply being aware, simply noticing is enough. It's more than enough. When you're ready, gently open your eyes and return your focus to the room around you. Notice how your awareness has shifted, even slightly. Perhaps it feels more centered, softer around the edges, or more alert and present. This is what coherence feels like in your body. This is high vibration embodied in physical form, not just as a concept, but as a lived experience. And this is the invitation I want to leave with you as we come toward the close of this journey together. Keep coming back to this practice, not because you need to be flawless or perfect, not because you need to maintain a constant state of bliss where nothing ever bothers you, but because every single time you choose alignment over those old reactive habits, every time you pause and return to center, this elevated frequency becomes more and more natural to you. Eventually, you'll discover something beautiful. You're no longer trying to stay high or forcing yourself to maintain some energetic standard. You simply are. It becomes your baseline, your natural resting state, the frequency you default to without even thinking about it. If this resonates with you on any level, if something stirred within you during this experience, maybe a sense of recognition, a deep resonance in your chest, or even just a flicker of curiosity wanting to know more, then hit subscribe right now and click that bell icon next to it. This isn't just a channel where you passively consume content. This is a frequency, a community, a space where we are practicing new ways of being together. We are not just watching, we are creating real possibilities. We are not just learning information, we are remembering who we truly are beneath all the conditioning. I'm genuinely glad you're here with me in this moment. Let's keep growing and shifting together, step by step, breath by breath. And remember, by sharing this video with someone in your life, maybe someone who's struggling right now, someone who feels stuck or lost, you're not just passing along information. You're spreading a frequency of possibility. You're being a blessing in disguise for them. And that act of giving, that generosity, it creates positive energy that flows right back to you, helping you manifest whatever you wrote in the comments earlier, whatever you're calling into your life. So go ahead and share this with your friends, your family, anyone who needs to hear this message today. Be that person who shares breakthroughs, not just memes. Be the friend who changes someone's whole week by caring enough to pass something valuable along. Now, before we close, I want to let you know about something coming next that you won't want to miss. In the next video, we're going deeper into how quantum timelines actually work, how you can consciously shift from one timeline to another, and the specific techniques that make timeline jumping not just possible, but practical and repeatable. If what we covered today opens something up inside you, that next video is going to blow your mind wide open with insights that most people never discover in their entire lifetime. Thank you for being here, for your attention, for your willingness to form a completely new relationship with your own energy and inner signal. The field is always responding, always listening, and each moment you choose coherence over chaos, you're not just transforming your own life in isolation. You're contributing to the collective vibration that shapes our shared world, touching everyone you encounter in ways you may never fully see. So stay steady in your practice, stay open to what wants to emerge through you, and remember this always, carry it with you like a truth written on your heart. You are energy. Not just in some abstract, philosophical sense, but literally, physically, measurably. You are energy in motion, consciousness expressing itself through form, the quantum field becoming aware of itself through your eyes, your breath, your choices. Every single moment is an opportunity to remember this. to choose coherence, to broadcast the frequency that matches who you're becoming. And the more you practice, the more you return to center, the more natural it becomes until one day you realize it's not something you do anymore. It's simply who you are. In the comments right now, I want you to drop one word, just a single word that captures the energy you're choosing to carry forward from this moment. Maybe it's alignment, maybe it's ease, maybe it's power, maybe it's trust, maybe it's something completely unique to you and your journey. Let that word be a small but profound declaration, a signal like a quantum seed you plant not just in this comment section but in the quantum field itself. Your word matters. Your intention matters. Because you matter. You're not here by accident. You're not reading these words by random chance. Something in you knew you needed to hear this today, and that knowing, that inner guidance, that's your highest self already aligning you with your next level. I read every single comment that comes through here, and I'm genuinely curious. Which part of this spoke directly to your story? What landed deepest? Was it the heart coherence breathing? The understanding of how the quantum field responds to your energetic broadcast? The micro reset technique? Or maybe something else entirely, something that clicked into place in a way you can't fully articulate yet? Comment below and tell me your biggest takeaway. Let's turn this into a conversation, not just a monologue where I'm talking at you. And here's something special I want to offer. I'm giving away 2 completely free one-on-one sessions to help you bring your desires to life, to help you work through whatever's blocking your coherence, whatever's keeping you from that elevated frequency you know is available. So, in the comments, tell me, what's one thing you truly want to manifest right now, and why is it important to you? Be honest, be real, be vulnerable. Drop it in the comments. The 2 people whose intentions resonate most strongly, whose comments reflect genuine readiness and commitment, those are the 2 people I'll reach out to. This isn't just about getting free coaching, though that's valuable. It's about declaring your desire publicly, anchoring it in the quantum field through the act of writing it down and sharing it. There's power in that declaration. Power in making your intention known not just to me, but to yourself and to the universe itself. Now, I also want to address something that might be coming up for you as you integrate everything we've covered. You might be wondering how to handle those moments when maintaining your frequency feels genuinely difficult, when life throws something at you that completely knocks you off balance. Maybe it's a sudden financial stress, a relationship conflict that triggers old wounds, or just one of those days where everything seems to go wrong despite your best intentions. Here's what I want you to understand deeply. Those moments, those challenging situations that test your coherence, they're not failures. They're not signs that you're doing something wrong or that this doesn't work. They're actually opportunities, invitations from the universe to deepen your practice, to strengthen your energetic stability in conditions that aren't perfect and comfortable. Think of it like building physical muscle. You don't get stronger by only lifting light weights when you feel great. You get stronger by consistently showing up and working with resistance, with challenge. Your energetic muscle works the same way. Each time you notice yourself slipping into reactivity, into fear, into old patterns, and then consciously choose to return to coherence, you're building that muscle. You're training your nervous system to default to alignment more and more automatically. The goal isn't to never get triggered or knocked off center. That's not realistic, and honestly, it would mean you're not really living, not taking any risks, or putting yourself in situations that matter. The goal is to shorten the time between getting knocked off center and returning to your coherent state. Maybe right now, it takes you hours or even days to recover your equilibrium after something stressful happens. With consistent practice, that recovery time shrinks. It becomes minutes, then seconds, then almost instantaneous. I've seen this transformation happen in countless people who commit to this work. They reach a point where they can be in the middle of a genuinely challenging situation, feeling the stress and tension in their body, and simultaneously maintain this deeper knowing, this unshakable connection to their core frequency. They're not bypassing the difficulty or pretending it doesn't exist. They're holding both, the human experience of challenge and the elevated awareness of their true nature as energy, as consciousness, as the quantum field itself in human form. This is what it means to truly embody high vibration. It's not about escaping into some spiritual bypass where you avoid difficult emotions or challenging situations. It's about staying rooted in your truth while moving through the full spectrum of human experience. It's about being fully alive, fully present, fully engaged with reality, while simultaneously knowing at the deepest level that you are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are the conscious creator of your energetic response, and that response shapes everything that unfolds next. Let me share something with you that might shift your entire perspective on obstacles and challenges. From a quantum standpoint, resistance and obstacles aren't problems to be solved or enemies to be defeated. They're actually information. They're feedback from the field showing you exactly where your vibration isn't yet stable, where coherence breaks down, where you're still carrying unconscious patterns that need attention and integration. When something triggers you, when you notice your frequency dropping, that's the field essentially saying, hey, look here. There's something here that needs your awareness, something that wants to be seen and released and transformed. The next time you feel triggered, try this approach. Instead of immediately reacting or trying to fix how you feel, just pause. Take that micro reset breath we talked about. Then ask yourself with genuine curiosity, not judgment, what is this showing me? What old belief or pattern is being activated right now? What part of me is asking for attention and integration? This simple shift from reactivity to curiosity creates space, and in that space, transformation becomes possible. You're no longer identified with the trigger, you're not the trigger, you're not the emotion. You're the aware consciousness observing it all, and that awareness itself begins to dissolve the charge, to integrate the fragmented parts, to restore coherence naturally. I know this might sound abstract, so let me make it concrete with an example. Let's say someone criticizes your work, and you immediately feel that familiar tightness in your chest, that rush of defensiveness or shame. The old pattern would be to either lash out defensively or collapse into self-doubt. But with this new approach, you pause, you take a breath, you notice the sensation in your chest without trying to change it. Then you ask, what is this really about? Is this about their criticism, or is it activating an old belief I carry about not being good enough, about needing external validation to feel worthy? And in that moment of clear seeing, of honest inquiry, something shifts. The charge begins to dissipate. The trigger loses its power because you've brought consciousness to it. You've met it with awareness instead of automatic reaction. This is advanced work, and I don't want you to feel like you need to be perfect at it right away. But I'm sharing this because as you continue practicing heart coherence, as you build your energetic protection field, as you integrate everything we've covered, you're going to encounter these deeper layers. And when you do, I want you to have the tools and understanding to work with them skillfully. The truth is, this journey of maintaining high vibration, of living in coherence, it's not a destination you arrive at and then you're done. It's an ongoing practice, a continuous unfolding. And that's actually beautiful because it means you're always expanding, always evolving, always discovering new depths of who you are and what you're capable of creating. Every single day gives you fresh opportunities to choose coherence. Every interaction, every challenge, every moment of uncertainty is an invitation to practice returning to your center, to your truth, to your natural state of elevated frequency. And the more you accept these invitations, the more you say yes to conscious awareness over unconscious reactivity, the more your entire life begins to reorganize itself around this new frequency. Opportunities start appearing that match your elevated state. People who resonate with your coherence naturally gravitate toward you. Circumstances that used to feel heavy or draining simply fall away, no longer relevant to your new energetic signature. This isn't magic, though it can feel magical. This is quantum mechanics in action. This is the field responding to the clear, consistent signal you're broadcasting. And here's something that really matters. You don't have to wait until you're perfect at this to start seeing results. You don't need to maintain coherence 100% of the time before the field starts responding. Even small, consistent shifts in your frequency create measurable changes in what shows up in your life. Even choosing alignment 10% more often than you used to, that's a significant shift that the quantum field recognizes and reflects back to you. So please, release any pressure you might be putting on yourself to get this right or to never slip back into old patterns. That pressure itself creates incoherence. Instead, approach this with compassion, with patience, with the understanding that you're literally rewiring your nervous system, retraining decades of conditioning, building entirely new neural pathways. That takes time. It takes repetition. It takes falling down and getting back up again and again. But here's what I promise you. If you stay consistent with these practices, if you commit to returning to coherence even when it feels difficult, even when part of you wants to give up and go back to the familiar patterns, you will transform, not just your external circumstances, though those will shift too, but your internal experience of being alive. You'll discover a depth of peace, clarity, and creative power that you may have only glimpsed before. You'll realize that you're not at the mercy of life happening to you. You're the conscious co-creator of your experience, actively participating in the unfolding of your reality through the frequency you choose to embody moment by moment. That's true power. Not power over others or over circumstances, but power with the field, power as the field, power as consciousness itself, expressing through your unique human form. Before we fully close this experience together, I want to leave you with one more practice, something you can do tonight before you go to sleep. Just as we talked about the importance of how you begin your morning, how you end your day is equally crucial. Your brain processes and integrates everything that happened throughout the day during sleep, and the state you're in as you drift off significantly influences this integration process. So tonight, as you're lying in bed, ready for sleep, take a few moments to revisit your day without judgment. Notice where you maintained coherence and give yourself genuine appreciation for those moments. Notice where you slipped into reactivity, and instead of beating yourself up about it, simply acknowledge it with compassion. Then consciously release it, let it go. Visualize placing any tension, any unresolved stress, any energetic debris from the day into that golden light field surrounding you, and watch it dissolve, transmute, transform into neutral energy. Then set an intention for your sleep and for tomorrow. It can be as simple as, tonight I rest in coherence. Tomorrow I choose alignment first. Feel that intention anchoring in your body as you drift into sleep. This simple practice creates a feedback loop where each day builds on the last, where your energetic foundation becomes stronger and more stable over time. Your subconscious mind is highly receptive during that transition into sleep, similar to how it is when you're waking up. So the thoughts, feelings, and intentions you hold as you fall asleep are being deeply integrated into your system. Use this window wisely. Don't fall asleep scrolling through stressful news or replaying conflicts. Fall asleep in coherence, in gratitude, in alignment with the frequency you want to wake up embodying. I challenge you right now to commit to this evening practice for just 7 days. 7 nights of conscious, intentional completion of your day and setting your frequency for the next. That's all. Just 7 days. And then come back and comment below about what shifted, what you noticed, what changed in your experience. I want to hear your stories because your breakthroughs inspire others. They create permission for others to step into their own transformation. We're not doing this alone. We're part of a global community of conscious creators, people all over the world who are waking up to their power, to their ability to work with the quantum field intentionally. Every time you practice, every time you choose coherence, you're adding your frequency to this collective field, making it easier for others to access these states too. It's like you're strengthening the pathway, making it more well-worn, more accessible for everyone who comes after you. That's the ripple effect of your personal practice. It's never just about you. Your coherence touches everyone around you, your family, your co-workers, the stranger you pass on the street. Your elevated frequency contributes to the collective consciousness, raising the baseline vibration for all of humanity. That might sound grandiose, but it's actually how energy works. We're all interconnected, all part of the same quantum field. What you do with your energy matters far beyond your individual experience. So as we come to the close of this journey together, I want you to really take in what we've covered. You now understand that high vibration isn't just a mood or a temporary feeling. It's a measurable state of coherence between your mind, heart, and body. You know that this coherence creates a clear energetic broadcast that the quantum field responds to with aligned circumstances, opportunities, and synchronicities. You've learned practical tools, the heart coherence breathing practice for your mornings, the micro reset technique for navigating challenging moments throughout your day, the golden light visualization for energetic protection, and now the evening integration practice for completion and renewal. These aren't just concepts or theories. These are lived practices that work when you actually use them consistently. You understand now that maintaining high vibration isn't about perfection or never experiencing difficulty. It's about building the skill of returning to center quickly, about shortening that recovery time between getting knocked off balance and restoring your coherence. It's about approaching triggers with curiosity instead of reactivity, seeing them as information rather than problems. And perhaps most importantly, you recognize that you are not separate from the quantum field. You are an expression of it, a focal point of consciousness with the power to influence, shape, and create your reality through the frequency you choose to embody. That's not motivational fluff. That's quantum physics. That's how reality actually works at the most fundamental level. So, here's my final question for you as we close. Are you in? Are you ready to commit to this practice, to this way of living, not just for a day or a week, but as an ongoing journey of expansion and alignment? If the answer is yes, if you feel that resonance, that readiness, comment, I'm in right now. Declare it, make it real. Anchor it in the field through the act of writing it down publicly. And if you felt even 1% more aligned after this experience, if something clicked or shifted or opened up inside you, hit that like button right now. Not because I need the likes, but because that simple action of engaging, of saying yes, it reinforces the neural pathways of coherence in your own brain. It's a micro commitment that strengthens your intention. And let's see if we can get this video to 1,000 likes. If we hit that milestone together, I'll drop another video next week with ancient practices from mystical traditions that align perfectly with quantum physics, techniques that will absolutely blow your mind. Your engagement matters. Your presence matters. Every comment, every like, every share, it's not just social media metrics. It's you actively participating in this field of conscious creation we're building together. So be part of it fully. Don't just watch from the sidelines. Jump in, engage, share your truth. Ask your questions, tell your stories. And please, send this video to that one friend who really needs to hear this message today. You know who they are. The one who's been struggling, feeling stuck, feeling like they're at the mercy of circumstances beyond their control. This could be the exact thing that shifts their entire perspective, that gives them the tools they need to reclaim their power. Be that friend who shares breakthroughs. Be the person who cares enough to pass along real value, not just entertainment. The quantum field is always listening, always responding, always reflecting back to you the frequency you're broadcasting. So what frequency are you choosing right now in this moment? What signal are you sending? Let it be a signal of readiness, of openness, of alignment with your highest potential. Thank you for being here with me on this journey. Thank you for your willingness to grow, to question, to practice, to remember who you truly are beneath all the conditioning and programming. I see you. I honor the courage it takes to do this work, to break free from unconscious patterns and step into conscious creation. Keep practicing, keep returning to coherence, keep choosing alignment, and trust that the field is responding to every single choice you make, every single breath you take in awareness. Your frequency is your power. Your coherence is your gift, not just to yourself, but to everyone whose life you touch. Stay connected here by subscribing if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss the next transmission. And remember, always remember, you are energy. You are the quantum field becoming conscious of itself. You are unlimited potential expressing through human form. Now go forward and embody that truth. Broadcast your frequency boldly, clearly, coherently, and watch as your entire reality reorganizes itself to match the signal you're sending. The field is waiting. Your new timeline is ready. All that's left is for you to step into it fully, completely, without hesitation. I'll see you in the next video where we dive deep into quantum timeline shifting. Until then, stay in your power, stay in coherence, and keep raising that frequency. The world needs your light. The field is responding, and your best life is already here, waiting for you to match its frequency. You are energy, always and forever. Now go live like it.